Shit 90 Shows Taught Me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.
Are you ready to slay another day? So are we. Welcome back to Shit 90 Shows Taught Me. I'm Jess Sterling here with my co-host, Sarah Humphrey. Sarah, how are you?
Jess, I can't believe it. Another one in the books. It feels
This
that
is
way.
not the finale.
It feels that way. I legitimately, 45 minutes into the episode, the episode was 45 minutes long. 35 minutes in the episode, I had a panic, an absolute panic. And I said, Adam, I was like, can you just check what episode we're on? I'm like, was like, this feels like a finale. Did I accidentally watch the finale by accident? I was so confused. And thankfully it was not. That would have been so bad. I was just having flashes to me being like, Jessica, I have really bad news. I accidentally watched the finale. And of course, we just picked up from where we left off from the previous episode, but that went outside my brain
because it really did give finale vibes.
Yeah.
Adam is gone. What are we going to be spending our finale doing?
I don't know. And I guess fuckery. Why not?
I'm here for the fuckery.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this was truly an epic episode. It felt big. It felt like a movie. It felt elevated as well because I felt like some of the effects were things that I didn't see. Obviously, I think it was David that shared with us either after the episode, but this was the fighting choreographer's last episode,
right?
Unless next week is, but all that to say was that this was his swan song. He was able to rage out, do whatever he wanted, and it felt elevated. I felt like I was, as we all know, I do not usually pay attention during the kicky punchy stuff. Action stuff has never been my thing. It just goes over my head. But I was really really into it. I thought it was really well done. And aside from my panic that I had accidentally watched the finale for whatever reason, I was like, this is incredible. What did you think?
Yeah, I will say I'm, for the most part, really enjoyed it. I don't think I'm as high on it as you are, but I did really enjoy it. Most of the stuff that I liked the most was the Scoobies reuniting, obviously. That tugged at my heartstrings because of what they said about feeling so distant from one another this season. They've all kind of been doing their own thing. So to see them come back together and their cute little hug and all of them making up really did make me very, very happy. I thought that the stuff with Riley, Adam, and Spike was pretty interesting. We'll get into that because I have a lot more thoughts on just how all of that went down and seeing Professor Walsh, I was like, what the heck is going on? I literally said in our little group chat, I'm like, wow, they actually did a pretty good job getting a lookalike. And then Todd was like, no, that was her.
Oh, it was? Okay.
That's what he said, but the makeup threw me off.
I really wasn't sure. I gotta stop down on the Professor Walsh stuff, that reanimated body. That was the creepiest shit that I think I've seen in Buffy.
The blood tubes freaked me out.
And the fact that she was there but not really there, it really spooked me, and I wasn't sure if it was her or not. I was very uncertain on that too. I don't know the actress's name, so if I saw it in
That's Todd had said it was in the credits, but yeah, I don't know.
I didn't catch that. So I was kind of going on the belief of is this a person with a Professor Walsh mask on?
Yeah.
And that kind of, for me, added to the creepiness because I kind of assumed that was the case. And I was like, it really sent a chill down my spine, be this is an extra in a Professor Walsh mask. I guess that's not the case. It would have been, but it just freaked me out. I was really, really creeped out by it. The other dude, I was just like, that's that dude.
Yeah, we know him. We've seen him.
Yeah. So I think that was it. I'm telling you, it really freaked me out. I was like, oh my God, this is so creepy.
Yeah, it really was. And I mean, honestly, I think we should just start from the beginning in this episode and then we'll kind of bounce back and forth between the Scoobies and the Adam storyline. Because with the way we left things off was Riley approaching Adam. And that was kind of where the episode ended. And so we pick right back up there and we find out, and I do feel like there has been like some foreshadowing in like, you know, the way Adam has called Professor Walsh mother and said, oh, we're brothers and all that.
My brother. And he's like, I'm not, and Riley's like, I'm not your brother. I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
He's like Pinocchio fantasies. Like, I'm real. I had a real mom. I am flesh and bones. And but yeah, there was like some foreshadowing, like maybe that there was like more to it in a way, more so than just that like Professor Walsh created Adam and trained Riley.
Right. And it turns out that like, because I had the theory of robot Riley, right? Now that is not correct. He is not a robot.
I'm so thankful that you're coming here and not being like, I got it right the whole time. I was right.
Because he's not a robot.
I know. I'm glad that you're saying that. And also, okay, no, finish your sentence.
I was just going to say, I think the chip makes all the sense in the world to me because our argument earlier on in the season was, why wouldn't she have more control over her soldiers? If she has the ability to make Adam, why wouldn't she have more control beyond just putting stuff in their food and all of that? Like we had said, what else is she doing? And it turns out the else that she's doing is putting chips in them. Now, the thing that kind of bothered me a little bit again, it's a very small thing. I'm like picking nits here, is the fact that Riley's chip was in his heart didn't make sense to me because we know that Spike's is in his brain. And when you're thinking about controlling someone, even when you're talking about controlling like motor functions, that's all comes from your brain. So I don't understand why Riley's, and if I'm going to give the show the benefit of the doubt or try to find reasons for it, maybe they started out with heart chips and then graduated to brain chips. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe the soldiers were some of their first test subjects and then they just moved up from there. But it didn't track at all because to me it felt a little cheap. Like, well, the reason Riley has one in his heart is because that's the only way he's going to be able to get rid of it himself versus needing another person, you know?
Sure. I think that's fair. That's a fair complaint or nit to pick. I think that also, you know, you would assume that he would already have a scar there and be like, how did I get the scar? Like, that's mysterious.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like, let me just like put on my writer's hat.
Yeah.
Riley was one of those kids that had like a poor little hole in his heart growing up.
Oh, yeah.
He had to get like a couple of heart surgeries. And like, it's like kind of like a medical miracle that he's like so strong and big and powerful as he is because he had like an open heart surgery when he was only like a couple months old. And that's like, he always had a scar there. So he didn't question it when he woke up one day with a scar. Of course, that's not what happened, but like, let me pretend that that's what it was. And that makes all the sense in the world.
I think we can kind of write our own stuff for like making sense of those things. But Adam now has full control over Riley. Like he tells Riley to sit, Riley has to sit. Like he has to obey because he has now activated Riley's chip in order to control him. But previously the chip was always there. It was not activated.
And I think like that was a little confusing and something that I needed clarification on about like when the chip was activated, especially when you started taking your little victory lap in our group chat, because like, I think that you would have had so many more legs to stand on with that argument of Robot Riley if the chip was like activated the whole time.
Oh, certainly. Yeah.
Then I would have been like, yeah, he was like, you know, not himself the entire time. That makes total sense. You were right. But the fact that the chip was not activated, and once again, it wasn't clear to me. I had to ask our friends when it was activated. It was activated at the end of last episode after Buffy told Riley about Forrest and he just left, and it did make sense that he got emotional and had to leave when he found out about Forrest. And then like I was like, oh, watching it, I was like, he's so angry that he goes right to Adam to be like, fuck you, bro. Fuck you. I'm gonna murder you. But in reality, like somehow that's just like when the chip was activated, which I don't think it makes a lot of sense. And it very, very wasn't clear to me anyway. But
it wasn't. And I think if I'm understanding the plot correctly, which again, this is where I would like pick away at this episode a little bit, is the fact that we're having to fill in some blanks here.
oh, totally.
I would say that Adam, originally the OG plan, and possibly the OG plan before Professor Walsh was, you know, the actor had to leave the show and all that, was Professor Walsh was building Adam, and eventually her plan was to flip all the switches. So she would have not only her army, but also an army of like demon creations.
Yeah.
Right?
Which makes
That
a
was
lot
her
of
plan.
sense. It makes a lot of sense for
Yeah.
us. I think it's something that we had previously like pretty much speculated on.
Yeah.
So I think like that, if we're thinking about like the overarching theme of the season, like what was the ultimate end goal of the big bad, like that's definitely what it was. Not only creating an army of like super soldiers, a la like a Captain America, but also creating an army of these like human slash robot slash demon hybrids
Yeah.
that are like uber soldiers, and eventually
Right.
like maybe we can take away the need for like actual humans, especially
Exactly.
because
In combat and stuff. Yeah.
because the construction of these like monsters, for lack of a better word, or these uber soldiers is like dead body parts that are reanimated.
Yes. And demons. So you're repurposing things that you want to get rid of anyway, right? Like you don't want demons in the world. You're going to now take their body parts, make them stronger soldiers, and also not put humans at risk. But it also makes so much sense that they would put chips in all of the soldiers, because the last thing they want is soldiers having a mind of their own. They want to be able to control them. So what's better than having an army of like normal human soldiers, but they're a little bit stronger because you're drugging them and they have the chips so you can control them. And then eventually, hopefully, maybe you're phasing, well, not hopefully, but you know what I mean? They're phasing into the uber demon soldiers, the Franken monsters, to have them fight your battles for you. That's the kind of vibe I got when at the end of the episode, we have the government like shutting down the project. It's like they were well aware of all of this.
Oh, totally.
They like wanted this because, but the problem is when Walsh had no control over her own monster, Adam has decided now, no, I want to expand. I want to have more brothers. You know, I need a family. I want to expand the super soldiers. So his plan is we're going to lure Buffy into the initiative where he has a secret lab. And he has been making some, like he took Forrest, which I was very happy, even though I was wrong about Forrest, like being a robot. I was very happy that he did come back. I thought it was really fun that he got like repurposed into like a monster and was happy about it and seemed to have some semblance of himself still in there. You know, he has memories and stuff at the very least. But so yeah, he wants to get Buffy into the into the initiative. And then he wants the soldiers to fight the demons they've captured so that they then have demon parts they can make into monsters.
Right. Yeah, and if you think about it, like the whole thing is very succinct. Like it makes a lot of sense. And there's a part of me that's even a little mad at us for not guessing that there was chips in the soldiers, like especially knowing like all season that Spike had a chip in his brain. Like how did we never say that in the entire 21 episodes?
Yeah.
Like, I'm mad at us because it's it was so when I like, found out that there's a chip in Riley, I'm like, it is so obvious and makes so much sense. Like, why did we not think of that?
Well, in our defense, we did guess, like, well, what else is she doing to them if we know she's drugging them? We didn't say chips.
It's so easy. That was such an easy guess.
But it wasn't activated is the thing, too, right? Like, we had no proof that there was any activation of any sort happening. And speaking of Spike, right, he's still involved in all of this. He is still saying, okay, Adam, like, when am I getting my chipectomy? Like, hello. And Adam keeps putting it off. Well, you're not going to get it until Buffy gets here alone. No Scoobies. That is the deal they struck. And the problem is, now that Spike has torn apart the Scoobies, Willow isn't talking to Buffy, and Willow is the one that is supposed to be hacking these discs that Spike fake got from the initiative to then give them the information of go to the initiative because that's where the secret lab is.
Yeah.
So he didn't plan well enough ahead for all of this. And he is stuck with Adam. Like, he doesn't know anyone else who can perform the chipectomy. I don't even know how Adam is going to perform the chipectomy, honestly. He needs to cut his nails first and go scrub in. Because imagine a doctor with those nails.
This is what I said to Adam as well. It's like when I saw Adam like going on the computer, and like for somebody like I have long nails as well, I was like, ooh, baby boy, like you need to like cut your nails down. They're looking a little grody.
Nasty.
It's like you look like you have a couple little greenies. Do you know what a greenie is?
A dog treat?
No, a greenie is like a nail girly term where like you have like a little fungus and like it looks a little green on your nails. I was like, he has some greenies, which is like the worst thing to get if you have nails. It's like because then you can't like have your nails done. So anyway, if your nails are so nasty, I totally agree with you. I'm like, those shits need to be filed down. Maybe we should like add a little color, maybe like a little butter yellow for summer. Nasty ass nails. But yeah, I mean, I was a little confused about in my first watch trying to understand what exactly Spike like messed up on, but now that you explain it, it makes a lot of sense because I was just like, what did he mess up on? And like Adam is like, I don't know, this deal that he constructed with Spike, it just feels like Spike puts up a lot of front work and then he doesn't really get much besides not being killed. On the back end.
That's how I felt as well. Like, what about Adam strikes him as someone who's going to keep his end of the bargain? I feel like, and maybe this is just my bias or me being stupid, but I feel like if you're striking a deal with the Scoobies, they're way more likely to, stick to their end of the bargain than someone like Adam is. But then again, like, are they going to want to remove Spike's chip? Probably not, because then he could literally kill them. So who knows? But this is when we get to see the lab that Adam has, the secret lab within the initiative, where we see the reanimated Professor Walsh, the reanimated other doctor, and they have like we were talking about, these like blood tubes look so sick and nasty. We get to see
really freaky.
We get to see reanimated Forrest, who has like his face, but then like a top piece and a chin piece that are like stitched on. And he's supposed to be like even stronger. Like I said, he still seems to have his memories because he references Buffy. And I've never been more certain that he is so supremely in love with Riley.
I think you're right. He also got some dental work done.
Oh God, yeah.
He got some new veneers.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah, I definitely think that he is like harboring some feelings towards Riley. He's like, Buffy got between us. I can't wait till we're on the same team again. On the same team. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Girl. He loved wrestling up with it. It was like so what's the thing? Like, how wrestling, it's just like men fighting in like leotards. Like it's the same kind of vibe here.
Yeah. So, and like strangely enough, he claims that there's a difference between him and Professor Walsh and the other dude. Like the other dudes are just like reanimated corpses. They have like very basic brain function and essentially are just like worker men that just like do what they're told. But Forrest seems to have more like abilities, more capabilities. Like he has his personality. He's able to vocalize and talk. I guess he's like a more elevated version that Adam created. And you're right, like to build his own army, to build his own family. Like he's trying to bring people onto his side. Obviously, Adam can't really do it on his own, and Spike is a little useless. But it at this point in time when Riley's down there, he is like fully like chip activated, under control. It was strange that even Forrest was able to give him commands and he was like forced to follow them. I thought that it would have only been Adam.
It seems like an oversight on Adam's part, because why would he want anyone else to have control? The way I looked at it is, I agree with you. It seemed like Professor Walsh and the other scientists were like just reanimated corpses there to do Adam's bidding. And that Forrest
too.
Yeah, Forrest seemed to be more like Adam. Like this is what Adam wants to create, is what he has created in Forrest. I don't know why, though, he would allow, maybe because he's like, well, you're my second in command. You're the only other one who has chip access to Riley. Everyone else won't, but you do, Forrest.
He like inserted the floppy disk and loaded that
Yes.
ability into him.
Yeah, uploaded that software to Forrest. Yeah.
He's elevated. He's like
jacked in.
Windows 10. Oh, he's very jacked in.
He's jacked in, yeah.
I thought
yeah.
I thought it was like interesting because like we can see Riley like underneath this like surface of being like absolutely controlled. Like he still has like his thoughts that he's like fighting against. And it was strange to me also that like there was times where he was able to talk, but other times where he wasn't able to communicate. And like I guess it's just like the amount he like fights against it, because obviously later in the episode, like he's with like a lot of force and a lot of willpower, he's able to like fight through it. And I guess I just want to like understand like how that is, but because it's just like I don't know. I mean, I guess it's interesting, but it's like he obviously has to have his like heroic moment.
Yeah, this was another thing. Again, I'm not trying to take anything away from the character of Riley. I'm really not. I just don't understand if he is so under the thumb of like Adam and Forrest with the chip. Why is he then able to pull the chip out? You'd think that would be
a willpower thing. Like I think it's like saying that like he's like so pure of heart or so pure of conscious that he's able, or strong, he's able to like fight against it. It's just like, how can we make him like even more of like a Captain America, like uber hero? It's just like, like the fact that he was able like to like break that glass, like take it, rip open his own fucking chest and pull out the chip, like that's so rock and roll. Like you can't tell me that that's not the, like the most badass thing.
That's why I'm of two minds. That's why I find it so difficult, because on one hand, it is extremely badass and very, very cool that he's able to do that. And on the other hand, of course, my brain is like, okay, freaking Spike has been trying to get a chipectomy all season long because it's in his brain, but Riley finds out he has a chip in less than 24 hours later. And if it's not, what is it, floating around in there? He doesn't even know like where in his body he's able to just shove his hand in and pull it out with no issues, no problems to his heart.
It's like, oh, like I know it's there. Yeah, I thought that was a little strange also. Like if it was so easy for him to like take a piece of glass and rip it out, like why couldn't they do the same thing with Spike? Unless like it's just very much like, why, like, oh, like Giles just like has like his tools and he's like, I don't know, Spike, like I don't know how to get it out, like because the alternative is that he turns into like a blood sucking evil vampire again. So it's like maybe they are able to do it, but they are not going to, because why would they? But then that's the whole like moral thing of like, then are they any worse than the Initiative because they are, I
just think it's also like Spike's was in his brain. Like that seems like you need a neurosurgeon. You can't just be rooting around in there. But I would argue the same thing about your heart. Like it just feels like, and I don't often say this about Buffy, which is why it feels a little disappointing, in that it feels like they took an easy route that makes less sense just to allow Riley to have the heroic moment, which is put it in his heart, not in his brain, because we need him to be able to extract it himself. Again, very cool moment.
Very
and like
cool.
Loved the fight between Forrest and Riley, because I felt like that actually, I wish it had been building for longer, like throughout more of the season.
No, I disagree. Like I do think it's been building for that long.
The last couple episodes, it definitely hit
in my
high
opinion,
point.
the entire season. Like I feel like that Forrest was like questioning Buffy and Riley like for the majority of the season.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking back to even when Buffy was in the Initiative for a moment and she would ask the questions and how annoyed Forrest was. Like, I think that even like the moments where like Forrest was like kind of being like a little like guy icky towards Buffy, like,
I
she's
hated
fucking
that.
hot. Like I would like do this to her.
Yeah.
And like, oh, see, Riley, like you love her. Like I know, like I feel like there was like weirdness surrounding the two of them for a while. And especially
Yeah,
because
you're
like,
right.
that was his like best friend, seemingly before that, besides Graham, who's like kind
Well,
of
he
like
was really
furniture.
devastated when he thought Forrest died, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I so I guess I'm curious to know is if Walsh hadn't been killed off, right? If they were going to keep her and she was going to be the big bad. I'm very curious to know Forrest's role in all of that. Like, does he find out what Walsh has been up to and is still very much on Walsh's side? Like, that could be very fun because then it's
Yeah.
even more like, wow, my best friend is like, how am I supposed to feel about this? Because
I
my
think
mentor and
so.
my best friend, you
I
know?
think so because I think that Forrest is like more of a like things are more black and white. And I think that Riley was that way as well. But like meeting Buffy and the Scoobies, he's been able to see that gray area, which I think is like, you know, like a nice thing about his personality. Like he's able to, I think it's just like really about like change. And then, of course, what we hear a lot about choice. Like I think that
Yeah.
um Riley was able to make the choice like I'm going to go against everything that I thought I ever knew about
Yeah.
the existence of the world and see that gray area, which I think it's a really hard for people, and I think it's like really hard for like men, especially men that are brought up in this way, like
In like a
in this
militant
in a
environment.
yeah.
Yeah, I just think there could have, again, this is very much like a what if sort of a thing, but like if we had Professor Walsh around and if Riley goes the opposite way and Forrest, of Forrest who goes is maybe like a replacement Riley
Mhm.
for Walsh, I feel like that would have added more layers to who
Oh, yeah.
Forrest was as a character versus he is like so straightforward and like very hateable in that way, but he's very straightforward in this version of how the season plays out. And I'm very interested because we're coming up on the finale now. If anyone has read anything or knows anything about like what were their plans pre Walsh not being around, like if the creators or anybody has ever spoken about that, I would
Mhm.
love to know because I'm really interested if they had what exactly their plans were before they had to change
Yeah.
everything.
I mean, that's very like coulda, woulda, shoulda. Like
Oh, sure. Yeah.
of course, like in a different reality, like I do think that we would have gotten like Adam, like would it have been um I don't know. Like I wonder if like Walsh would have been like trying to stop Adam or if she would be like, no, like don't stop my creation, blah blah blah. Like I am curious
Yeah.
what it could have
Yeah.
been. But I agree with you. I thought like the fight between Riley and Forrest was really cool, especially because Forrest is like half machine, a third machine, a third demon. Today's not my day for fractions. I'm
Yeah.
referencing like our Felicity podcast, and I'm like trying to throw out like so many fractions today, and like none of it is tracking, but it's fine.
But it was fun, especially like you were saying earlier about the special effects and stuff, like the
Mhm.
fact that he dies with like an explosion, and I'm fairly certain I saw his fucking head like just flying through the air. Like
Woo!
that was
Bye!
really that was really fun. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed
it
it. I'm
was
not
really
gonna lie.
cool.
It was
Yeah,
great.
I thought it was interesting because like Riley had to get creative because like he knew physically he was not able to fight Forrest, especially without taking these like supplements that he's been taking.
Right.
And so he had to get creative. And the way that he did it was like there was these air canisters or something, gas canisters, and they
Yeah.
said flammable, and he kind of
It
like
was
threw
oxygen.
it towards, and I loved like when he was like hitting his head with it. That was pretty cool. And
Yeah.
then yeah, he like got him and then it exploded, and that was the only way to get Forrest out. And I thought that that was cool. I liked how he like ran to the corner of the room and like flipped over one of the metal tables and like hid behind it, like very once again military-esque. Like I feel like this was
Yeah.
probably this whole episode, it was definitely, like I said, more elevated. Like I felt more like we were watching a movie than even like last season, because last season the big fight, it was like a little comical as well.
I think last season was more emotional in terms of they're graduating and everyone helps Buffy, right? Like the
Everybody
whole
helps.
graduating class
Yeah.
is like, it's way more impactful emotionally, but this one felt more, there's more going on because there's
Yeah.
like this fight's happening over here, but then we have like, we'll get to it, but the remainder of the Scoobies are helping with this spell, and then we have Buffy is fighting Adam and what's going on with Spike. Like
Yeah.
there's more
There's
sub
a lot.
categories.
Yeah, there was a lot
fights.
going on in a lot of different pockets.
I love
Of
the
initiative.
tentacles grabbing
Oh my
that
God,
guy
yeah.
off the
It's like,
off the railing.
I was like, what's that? Like, who's that guy? Yeah, there was just like a lot to see, and that's why I'm saying like it just felt like a movie. It felt like an action
A
movie.
war. Yeah.
Yeah,
It felt like
yeah.
I mean, you have military
Yeah.
because we have a lot of like randos fighting, which is better because you could just kill them off and literally no
Yeah,
one
we
cares.
don't
Like
care
it's
about
fine. Who
randos.
cares?
Kill all the randos. It's
Yeah, kill 'em
fine.
all.
Yeah, they said like 40 initiative members died, and like all the demons are gone. So,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. And let's like circle back around to like all the Scoobies, right? Like
Yes.
they're fighting, they're still not talking.
It's really sad.
It is sad. And Buffy is like really doing stuff on her own, and she stupidly goes into Adam's lair again by herself, which is just like,
It's so dumb.
irresponsible. And she runs into Spike, which it was just like, like, what are you doing there, Spike? And that's why, like, for a second, I thought that like Spike's thing that he forgot to do was like from a separate distance activate the like decoding of it, because I was like, oh, is that what he forgot to do? So I was once again a little confused about that. But as soon as I saw like Buffy with Spike, and he started just yapping, I was like, oh, Buffy, you're gonna figure this out real quick. And you can see that switch in her brain when he mentions all the Scoobies fighting, and she's thinking, he should know about that. Like, he wasn't there. Like, how does he know?
Yeah.
And I think that it was really cool to see her like, I got this man clocked, because she's known Spike for a few years now. And I think like she can catch on to like his fucking trickery. And she was like, this is what happened. And she kind of like gathers everybody back together, and we're at this like 4 points. Like, it was kind of cool how like the positioning of it was like they were still separated. They still had like a whole world between them.
Yeah.
All this animosity, all this anger, all this like bad feelings. They were very apart from each other, like north, south, east, west, talking it out. And Buffy's like, who told you these things? What happened exactly? And it gets uncovered that it was Spike. It was all Spike.
Yeah, I loved that we did get our individual moments with each character prior to them coming together, because Buffy is like in her dorm room, depressed, looking at an old photo of the Scoobies together. Willow and Tara go to Giles to like get the laptop and the discs back, and he's like super hungover. Tara cracked me up so much. She's not in this episode a ton, but her little smiles at Giles when they go to see him, I was like, she's so sweet. She's just like so sweet. She's like, Mr. Giles, like she's adorable. And like Willow getting the answers and saying like, oh, that's unsatisfying. I like had to do no work to like decode these, whatever. Xander being extremely depressed. He was like supposed to go check the unemployment board with Anya.
Yeah.
And this is like, honest to God, one of my favorite scenes of the episode is Xander saying he feels like just like a lost, directionless loser, and Anya saying, well, yeah, that might be true, but you're a good person and a good boyfriend, and I'm in love with you. And I just love this relationship so much. Like, I loved Zordy. You know I loved Zordy. But like this relationship, I adore, because Anya, she won't beat around the bush. She will say, like, yes, maybe you're a little directionless right now, but you're also a really good person. You're also a really good boyfriend. And like all of those things can simultaneously be true. And she just lays with him. Like, I do think it depends on the person, right, Sarah? Like, we've talked about this before, where sometimes you just want a person to say, yes, this sucks. Like, you don't want answers. You don't want advice. You don't want, like, you should be doing this. You just want to hear a person say, yes, this sucks. And I think for Xander, sometimes I think it's, you pick and choose. Sometimes you need one thing. Sometimes you need another. And in this particular moment, I love that Anya just lays down with him. She doesn't drag him out of bed. She doesn't say, go get a job. She lays with him and she's just like, you're a good person and I love you. Like, and it's so sweet. It's
Yeah,
so
it is.
sweet.
It really is. It really is. Like, she's such a gem, and I think that she brings out the best in Xander. Like, I think that Xander has really grown, obviously, in the last season and a half or so while he's been with Anya.
Yeah.
And of course, like he's directionless and he's jobless and he's not going to school, but he is continuously trying, like
He's had how many jobs this season?
like 560,000. Like, that's the thing. Like, he's not a loser, in my opinion, because he's continuously putting himself out there and continuously trying. And like, maybe you're not going to find like the one thing that you're good at like right away. Some people, it takes a lot longer, but at least he's not like Giles, who's a fucking like jobless drunko.
Yeah, no,
He's
Xander's
trying.
trying. He is, and he's always been there for his friends, and that's partly why this whole fight like hurts so much, is because some of these things are rooted in truth of like he does feel a little aimless, and so of course when he feels like his friends are talking about that behind his back, it's going to sting that much more.
Yeah.
So I just really loved this, and then they like you said, they all kind of come together, and once Buffy is like, oh yeah, it was Spike who's been saying all of these things, they know, okay, Spike is working with Adam. And I love Giles being like, I'm so stupid. Like, I at least should have been the one to see this coming.
Yeah, Xander's line of like, I can't believe that Spike would backstab us. Oh, wait, yes, I can. Like, that's that makes a lot of sense. And, like at first, like he was like, oh yeah, like it's just Spike doing Spike things. And Buffy's like, no, I really think it's more than that. Like, he's working with Adam.
Yeah. And they do briefly mention like, well, Riley took off, like that's that. I don't know where he is. We can't have him help us right now. But I think one of the more like emotionally impactful scenes was when we see Buffy, and so they all get a plan together. They go to the initiative and they're rappelling down. Buffy and Willow are together.
Oh, I love this moment. Yeah.
They're making up, and I love, because we had called this out, and I was just so happy to see the characters recognizing as well. Like, it was so easy. It would have been so easy to just be like, fuck you, Spike. It's all Spike's fault. He did all of this.
Mhm.
I love that Buffy instead said, yes, he did poke at these things, but it was bound to happen. And Willow agreed. It's like, oh, we've been farther apart this year. Like, it's tough going from a high school friendship to a college friendship. Like, we gave him things to pull and poke at, by doing the things we did. Yeah. And I loved them apologizing to one another. And then Xander getting down there and they're doing their little group hug. It was so sweet. And so part of me was a little sad we didn't get Tara and Anya in the big fight, but I did love that this was just the OG3, this makeup moment,
Yeah, 4, including Giles,
who was still rappelling down, and Xander's like, come on down here, man, we're hugging.
I will say, like, that's also a mark of a really good and strong leader, when you are able to take accountability for your own wrongs and your own mistakes. I feel like that just makes Buffy like so strong and like inspirational to be able to take accountability for the part that you played in the dismantling of this friendship, but also this team and this group. So I really liked it. I really liked that Willow and Buffy were able to like hug it out. Like, I like that Buffy was like, I love you. I kind of wish that in that moment she was just like, maybe she did say it, like, I accept you in all versions of you. Like, I don't want you to ever feel like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think that she did. Like, I was kind of waiting for that, especially because of like this whole innuendo witch thing, like
where Tara says, like, because Tara and Anya don't show up to that little meeting of the minds, and she's like, well, I don't think Tara feels exactly welcome right now.
Exactly. Like, I think that like I would have liked it even more. I did like it. I liked it a lot, but like I feel like that was the only little, once again, like if I had to pick a nit, like that's the only thing that I wish that we got. Like, I accept you, I accept Tara, I'm like, I accept every single version of you. I feel like that would have been even better. That might have even made me like shed a tear in that moment. But, like I still really liked it. I still like that they were able to get together. I thought this whole plan of them going to the initiative, I was like really nervous because I was like, this is exactly what Adam wants you to do. But
Yeah.
the fact that they had to be there to cast this like crazy spell, and I don't even think I fully understand what was going on.
We will talk about that in 1 second. I did look it up. I wanted to let you know exactly what Buffy said.
Yeah.
So Buffy said, like, because Willow says, like, I haven't been misavailable, I kept secrets, and Buffy says, it's not your fault, Will, you were going through something so huge. Willow says, I wanted to tell you, but I was scared. Buffy says, you can tell me anything, I love you, you're my best friend. And that's when they hug, and that's when they land, and they say, I promise never to not talk again. She doesn't say that, but she says it, like,
Yeah. It's like, basically, I think, like, it's just, like, what she's alluding to, and I wish that, like, we said it outright, like, without there being a question of what exactly she meant, but, like, to give Buffy the credit, in that moment, like, you're right, like, now that you say that, like, I remember she did allude to it, so a little bit more clarity could have been nice in that moment. Once again, like, I think that it's important for any queer person to hear that, like, I accept you in all versions of yourself. I just think that is
it makes me
nice
wonder
for watchers, for people who's watching, not the watchers,
not the watchers,
not
fuck
the
those
watchers, people watching the show. It would just be nice to hear that. But like, once again, like, I really, 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 really like this finale. So like, if I'm like pointing out to something that I'm not satisfactory in, then what was that?
I said it's not the finale.
Shit.
No, I agree with you. It also makes me wonder if that was something that wasn't quite allowed. I don't know. Like, I'm always very skeptical of, like, were they having to write around this sort of a thing?
That's what it felt like it was. Like, we're writing around it. And like, when the witch stuff, like, I thought that it was like kind of smart to do that. Like, whatever. It doesn't matter.
But I agree with you. So the spell casting thing, I really was confused about, because they had to be in a room that was like quiet enough, but close enough to where Buffy was going to be. They had some kind of magic gourd, which was very funny.
Oh, I love the magic gourd. Like, honestly, like, I think everybody needs a magic gourd. He pulled out the bag, and before like even Giles was like, it's a gourd, I was like, a gourd? Yeah. I was like, we have a magic gourd up in here. It's a magic gourd, actually.
That's so funny. And in the meantime, all of the demons have been let loose. So we have soldiers from the initiative fighting the demons, including Spike, who was basically told, we're going to kill you now because Buffy showed up with her friends. So the deal is off. You're going to die. So he's now been fighting demons.
Man, that really blows. Like, we really need to get this, like, this agreement in a contract. We need both parties to sign. Like, not that you would hold he would not hold like a contract either. But like, man, like the nuances to this deal is like really, really bad for Spike.
Yeah. In the meantime, while they're setting up the spell, Buffy rescues. Well, she goes in to see Riley, and Riley is like, can't talk to her. Yeah. We get the whole thing again of so she, I think, does she kill Walshin? I can't remember if it's her or Riley that kill Walsh and the other guy. But he does, like we talked about already, remove the chipectomy on himself.
Disgusting. I like saw it. It was like, I was like, that is so badass, so cool, but so fucking nasty ass. I hate it.
Yeah. And so meanwhile, Giles, Willow, and Xander are like, I don't know, it looked like tarot cards. I don't think that's what it was, but they were performing some sort of a spell.
Yeah.
And basically, Adam has made alterations to himself. He got a bazooka arm, Beach.
Oh my god, that was crazy.
That cracked me up so much.
I know, because like Buffy like broke off his little spike, and then like when he like his arm, he's like, I have another one, and like it comes out with like I was like, holy fuck. And then once again, I felt like the effects were pretty cool. Also, one more thing about the spell, I really don't like that Tara wasn't there, because she's
a witch.
She's the strongest witch, and also every single witch shit that I've ever watched was like, you need 4. You need 4. You need 4.
Yes, the craft.
You need north, east, west, and south. Plus, you need the 4 elements: earth, water, wind, and fire. Like, you need 4 to create big, massive spells. We needed Tyra there. Then we probably needed Anya there, but maybe Anya could do something fucking else. But anyway, it really annoyed me that Tyra wasn't there, because I was like, you need 4. That's what you need. All covens need 4. But
yeah,
whatever.
so they were it was some like an adjoining spell or something, and what they're trying to do is basically like embody Buffy and give her even more powers.
The only thing is, like, it makes sense because, like, she needs to get out the green shit out of his chest to murder him. That's the only way to
the
get
uranium,
him
I think, is what it was.
You need to take away the uranium in order for him to die. That's his power source. But where does these powers come from?
I think it was the spell itself, because what I'm understanding is this, because when they say, we implore thee, admit us, bring us to the vessel. So Buffy is the vessel.
Yeah.
They imbue her with this spell. And then I believe I don't know if they are in control of her or like they're working together in her body.
That I understood is more so like, I understood that they, all 3 of them, inhabited Buffy, which is really cool. But
her
like,
eyes turned nasty. She was giving Grinch vibes, like Jim Carrey the Grinch.
I thought like the whole all the effects for while Buffy was possessed by this power was really cool. Like seeing like the birds like flap off and
the bullets like hit nothing, kind of like Matrix almost.
Yeah, and then like all like the little like Air Force bubblies. Like I thought all of that was like really cool, really well done. Once again, it felt like much more elevated. I think that this is like the most advanced effects that we have seen on this show, especially coming from early on, where like it was sometimes a little bit laughable, but like I thought it was like really, really cool watching this. I didn't even know that the show like was going to get there, but like a little Matrix-y. It was really cool. It was really cool to watch. I was very interested in this scene. And ultimately, she was able to like kick harder, punch harder, move faster. She had like the like, I guess you can say like maybe like she had, I don't know. Like I was going to say like, oh, the magic from Willow and like the fighting like military stuff from Xander and like the knowledge.
She's just imbued with the spell, and that was what gave her the power. But she was able to reach inside of him, pull out the uranium, like which was center heart, whatever.
That was crazy.
And just like get rid of it. Like she
because then like he collapses as soon as like the power source is out of there. He's cooked, he's done. And then Riley comes in and Riley is like, you okay, baby girl? Like,
because she has red eyes at this point. Now like her eyes have slowly been getting darker.
And then like she's holding the uranium battery and then it starts like floating in the air and then like it just like poofs.
I think the spell,
and then she collapses and like Riley gets to catch her because once again this is very like Riley's heroic, he gets to be anything that like we want, like these like Superman type characters. Captain America is superheroes, like, oh, let me catch the damsel in distress. He gets that moment. But Buffy doesn't like, she's not down and out for long because like, and then next scene she's back. She's like, hey guys, I did it. Like, good job. 2 thumbs up. Let's go like finish the whole thing off. The Scoobies, the remaining Scoobies, they're all sweaty. They are tired. They are pooped. They almost get attacked by another demon, but Spike comes in and is like, kill, I'm good with you, right? Like, we're good. We're all good.
It was very funny. He's like, oh, great. Good work, team. Like, I loved that entrance. It was very funny. And Buffy just coming in and immediately taking control again and being like, you here, you there, you, like, you get all the soldiers, get them out of here. Like, she's taking charge again. And it was so lovely to see, because this is the entire point and why I was getting so frustrated with Buffy is like, this is, you are good at being a leader. Like, this doesn't have to be a solo job. Like, you can delegate tasks to people, right? Like, have Riley go deal with the soldiers. He's good at that. Like he knows those people, and it's something he's very good at. Like, I was happy to see not only her take charge, but use the resources that she has at her disposal. So that was a really great moment getting to see her in that position again.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
the government,
like yada yada at the end. Like then we kind of like, I don't even think it's like a time jump. It's more so like a recap where some like important military guys, I don't know who they are, they're like, the mission has failed. Like, you know, like Adam is gone. It was Riley who's like I forget the term that they use, like the
deserter.
The deserter.
That's what they called Riley. They said a deserter and a group of civilian insurrectionists.
Yeah. They are the ones that like took care of everything.
Yeah.
And
he does say like, oh, Professor Walsh's vision was brilliant, but ultimately unsupportable.
Yeah.
The
and then
cannot be harnessed.
Wait, so then they're like, I think that they said like we're going to concrete it all in, but then we're also going to set it on fire. So we're just like,
what does he say? The project be terminated, all records concerning it expunged. Our soldiers will be debriefed, standard confidentiality clause. We'll monitor them, make sure they don't go public. The initiative itself will be filled in with concrete. Burn it down, gentlemen. Burn it down and salt the earth.
It's like, it's not enough that we have to get, and that is so much concrete. Like we have to, we need gallons and gallons and gallons and tons of concrete to fill in the entire thing, and then we have to burn it on fire.
It's so funny. It's so extra. Really.
Take down the frat house. Take it down.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's like, and it's very strange because like you said, it's like a montage where we get the voiceover from the government official and over top of all these like fighting scenes and everything. And it really feels like a finale. So it's so confusing. Like, where do we go from here? Like so Adam's defeated. What are we actually doing in the finale? Like, is there a big bad in the finale, or is it a matter of like, and our first year at college is over? And like,
I think we're just like are gonna fuck around, you know?
Okay. So my question then is, because I had pitched a theory last episode of this is how if Riley's a robot, like this is how we get Riley off the show. I don't know. I have no idea if he's back for another season. What do you think? Like, do you think Riley is going to be in season 5? Like, where are we ending this season?
Yeah, I do think so. Which I'm shocked by, because I honestly thought that he would be dead. Like, I really did. I thought that by the end of the season, we would no longer see Riley. But now I'm like, once again, they are treating this man like he's George Clooney on ER. They're
really
like,
are.
They're like, this is our star. This is our star.
Sarah Michelle Gellar. It's all about Riley, baby.
It's all about Riley. Don't even know this. I don't even know his name, but he's our star. And I like, which is like kind of weird because once again, I feel like this is a girls' show. It's not, but this is like our girl gang. You know what I mean?
It's for girls. Like this is a girls are power. Like watch us.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I mean.
We start off with the Scoobies being like Xander is the only one without powers and the only man in the group besides obviously Giles was a watcher, but like
well, Giles too. Yeah.
Come on. Like it's just I don't know.
Who invited this grown ass man to our slumber party type of thing?
Yeah. So I have no idea what we're gonna do next episode, and I presume Riley is not going to make a return in season 5.
Oh, so do you think that he's going to get killed off? Like, or is he going to
I don't think so.
You know what? I like, goodbye.
I'm a farm guy from Iowa or Idaho or wherever the fuck.
Like,
I think that's where he's going.
Sunnydale's a little crazy. Bring me back to the cows.
I can't deal with the Hellmouth anymore.
Yeah. And he's like, come with me, Buffy, please. Like, will you be my little dairy farmer girl? And like, we can live a normal life and make cheese.
Make me sweet tea. Yeah. While I'm out working out on the farm.
Yeah. He's like, you like cheese? We've established this. We could be cheese farmers.
It's giving Clark Kent in Kansas.
Oh.
So I know you didn't watch Smallville, but there is a thing that stands out to me from like I think it's the first season of Smallville. It's like one of the first couple episodes where because it's Clark Kent, he lives on a farm in Kansas, right? Mm-hmm. And they're putting up a fence around like the perimeter of the farm, he has the fence poles, which normally putting in a fence is serious shit. Like you have to like dig lots of holes and you have to like fill them with concrete and all that. He takes the fence pole, which is like this, pretty big around, and he just goes whoosh and like shoves it in the ground, and he just does that time and time and time again, and
Buffy.
it is
Buffy
very attractive. Yeah.
I have a question. Is the new Superman hot?
Let me look him up. Hold on. Superman.
Yeah, is the new Superman. I actually don't know what he looks like. I'm trying to Superman 2025.
What's his name? David Cornsweet.
Cornsweet.
Cornsweet. I don't know.
We all know that Henry Cavill is hot. Like,
yeah, obviously. He's the hottest one.
Give
me a hairy-chested Superman.
Yeah, I really liked him when he had a beard. I think that all Supermen are hot because they're literally basically my type. Dark hair, blue eyes.
Sure. Yeah, I mean the new Superman's not bad looking. He has good hair. I think he pulls it off.
Yeah.
I think Henry Cavill is hotter.
This picture of him is hot.
I think my favorite, and this is also just very biased from like a nostalgia purpose, but Tom Welling as Superman was.
Who?
He was the one from Smallville.
Oh.
He was a really good looking.
Yeah, I think all Supermen are hot. Like, I just think that like it's just the type,
Yeah.
It's
no, I know what you mean. All right, let's do our quick little Cordy's corner here about blind date.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened here. Okay, so basically, this episode is Angel is out and about, and he sees a blind bitch, and this blind bitch is a little bit evil.
They basically ripped off Daredevil. Have you seen Daredevil? Do you know what Daredevil is?
No.
Daredevil is a blind superhero.
Oh.
And like she has a little bit more superpowers than him. He basically uses like his hearing to fight. Whereas she can kind of see you if you're moving. She's like a T-Rex in Jurassic Park. If you're moving, she sees you. If you're not moving, she can't see you.
Right. So she is a murderess, and she winds up almost killing Angel, but she is like at court, and of course she's represented by Wolfman and Hart. Wolfman and Hart. And basically they get her off. Even though she's a murderer, they get her off. And
the main dude, which I'll look him up now. I don't remember
Lindsay.
What the hell his name is.
Lindsay gets him. That's his name, I think. I think his name is
Lindsay.
I think so. So Lindsay then is like, we meet this guy, Lindsay. I think we've met him before.
And we definitely have.
Yeah. And then so like essentially she is also planning on killing the 3 blind mice, aka 3 blind children. And
who are the same as her in terms of like their abilities,
it
seems.
And Lindsay is like, wait a minute. Adults, totally fine. We can kill all of them. Children, no.
I draw the line.
My moral compass is spinning. And he's like, he goes to Angel, goes, I need to get out of this gig. Like, please let me go. And I think like the coolest part of this episode was that like, then we become a heist movie.
It's all a heist.
We have to heist in.
We're trying to steal files.
We're trying to get the files to get more information on the blind bitch. And Angel goes in and basically takes that and then takes a scroll. Meanwhile, we have Angel's new bestie Gunn makes a ruckus within
he's team distraction.
Yeah, he is making a ruckus, and I feel like he has fun, but also, and then
he does the like, he walks in and he's like, oh, all you bunch of white people, like you rich white folks, like is it because I'm black? Like he's just like yelling, causing a scene in the front.
He causes the scene. Angel achieves the heist, and then obviously they find out very quickly that files are stolen. And this was my favorite part. Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say, because Lila, the girl, like catches him. At the company, she catches him, and the biggest flaw in all of this is that Wolfram and Hart employ. It's not like they're not doing lie detector tests. No, they literally have mind readers on their payroll.
This was my favorite part. This was crazy. I
great.
loved this part because like they line up all the employees. We go, we know one of you is a snitch, and then they have these like creepy twins, and the creepy twins are like, I'm gonna look at every which one of you, and then I'm gonna raid your mind, and then the guy, it's like one of those things, just like, is it going to be, I guess, Lila, who's like has something? Is it him? Is it the guy next to him? And then like the guy next to him he was basically going to take all the clients and run. So then basically the twins are like, okay, I gotta be honest with you. All these people are bad on different various levels. This one's having an affair. This one like did not flush his poo
this one went to a Coldplay concert and cheated on his wife.
Exactly. But this one's stealing this one's stealing clients, and then this one is like essentially like trying to get out of the gig. And the main boss man was like, I'll tell you which one's the worst. Don't steal my clients. So then they like kill him in front of everybody. And then Lindsay gets all of this blood all over him. He's like, ooh, I made it. But then the bad guy is like, excuse me, Lindsay, can you stay? And he goes, I know that you are trying to get out of the gig. I know that you betrayed me and you're working with Angel because the twins told me. I don't fucking care because I know that you're a good dude for this company and I'm going to give you a promotion. Here's your fancy office.
Yeah, have my job, bitch. I'm going up even higher.
Yeah, I'm going to be super. And then like, basically Lindsay is like, I'm trying to he gets to go free and then he comes back, which was like surprising. And then basically the bad guy is like, I really want you to be part of this team. And then like, he shows him the office, and you know, like that meme on TikTok where it's like, "Oh, this is nice." Basically, Lindsay becomes a evil dude for a new office. He
already was evil, and then he was like, "Do I have morals, or do I want the big office?"
It's like big office. He goes,
that's my option.
You telling me that I get my own view? I will take it. You're telling me that I get a hot assistant? Clock it. I have a Diet Coke fridge. Mine.
Yeah, he so quickly changes his tune after he had such a moral high ground about the children. Yeah, and no, he sells his soul. He doesn't care. He has a nice corner office. He's happy.
The big boss man was like, you know what? You're right. Maybe the children thing was too far. Let's continue all the other killing. Teenagers, that's fine. Children,
yeah.
Well, we can wait a couple of years, which I thought was like, okay. So basically, I don't know. This whole thing is so stupid, but
it's really dumb. And did you recognize the big boss?
No.
Boss? He was Bernard in Lost. So just shout out to Bernard.
I know
you didn't. Other people have that. So just FYI, he was Bernard in Lost. And meanwhile, like Cordy and Wesley are working on this whole scroll thing because like Angel was like attracted to the scroll, like he didn't know why. It was like he had like an instinct for it. And so I loved the moment of Cordy calling Willow to help do some hacking because I was like, girl doesn't know how to hack. She needs to get Willow on the phone.
I like how like Cordy was like, hey, like they're doing hacking too right now.
Yeah, it's so funny. And so yeah, the children are the holy triumvirate apparently. And the Wesley tells Angel that this parchment that he got from the lawyer's office are the prophecies of Abjurin or something, which basically is all about him. It doesn't say his name, but it says there's a vampire with a soul. And like truly whatever, you know, I don't know. This episode was like interesting.
There's a lot of interesting parts. Yeah,
I love the mind readers. That was fun. I love the moment when Angel like storms the courtroom, chucks a pair of sunglasses, and she just reaches up and catches them.
Well, this was the crazy thing because I thought like, okay, what he was doing there was like seeing what kind of powers she had, but what I thought that he was trying to blow up her case, but then in the next scene, they're like, oh, she got off. I was like, oh, okay.
I thought he was trying to blow her case as well. Like I thought he was trying to like, oh well, look how obvious it is that she has abilities. Because Lindsay's whole argument was like, well, her disability, prohibits her from being the one who could do this.
But apparently, like that did nothing. I don't know.
I guess not.
You know what it was? Like it might have been like one of those things where it's just like the case was interfered with, so then like they had to drop it because like that wasn't like submitted in the official evidence or whatever, like some technicality. I definitely thought there was a lot of interesting elements. Once again, I'm just like genuinely confused at parts, and like I don't know, like whatever.
I just don't have as many emotional ties to these characters beyond
No.
Cordy, who
Mhm.
usually doesn't get as much screen time or like, storyline.
Yeah.
So I
What's
just
it-
don't care as much.
And I guess we don't care about what the prophecy says? What did the prophecy say?
The prophecy just said he was like important. It referenced like a demon with
Mhm.
a soul. I don't know that there was any like important information we were supposed to glean. If there was, I didn't glean it.
As
So
per season 1, there's nothing that I hate more than a prophecy, because then it's just like, I'll tell you what I'm doing, prophecy. I'll tell you. You don't tell me. You don't
Yeah.
control me, prophecy.
you can tell me what to do.
You can't tell me what to. But then it like that was prophesized, so it's gonna
Yeah.
happen anyway.
Whatever. We did get some pieces of feedback. So very similar in nature. We got another email from Andrew, who, if you all don't remember, is the one who's catching up. He says currently he's through 3 seasons of the podcast. So slowly but surely he's catching up to us. I'm looking forward to getting into season 4 because it really is a whole new world for the Scoobies. I will say that I was a little bit annoyed with Sarah for accidentally but totally accurately predicting that Cordy and Wesley would hop on board the boat to Angel Land. She was almost too confident about that guess, though. Almost makes me wonder if she knew something she shouldn't. ... We also got a message from Marspars who said, is Sarah trying to hide some Googling?
No.
The prediction for next week is practically spot on.
All right.
People want to know. It's not coming from me.
The Cordy and Wesley thing, probably possible that I was spoiled on that. Probably possible.
Probably possible.
I'm assuming that you're referring to the Forest stuff.
Honest to God, I do not remember what you said last podcast.
I said something like, because you were saying like, oh, maybe Forrest is not really dead. And I said like, I think like what would make more sense would be if Forrest like gets reanimated.
Okay. Well,
that was an actual guess. Like I would say that the majority of the time I'm actually making real guesses, but I think I knew that Cordy was spinning off, and I probably saw a picture of Wesley, but I swear. Okay. So like, I've been like pretty honest about like what I've been spoiled on and what I haven't been. I can genuinely say as of right now, I know no more spoilers past this point.
Oh,
I think the last thing that I was technically spoiled on was that Willow was. Oh, never mind. There's one more thing that I know.
Well, I was just going to bring that up, funnily enough, because friend of the pod, Tom Palmer, had posted from way back in the day. He had reminded us of a moment in the podcast that we did before we started Buffy. Like, it was like, this is what we know going into Buffy. And, excuse me. And you said, I know something. Let's play 2 truths and a lie about Willow.
And this was our pre-podcast.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, before we started it. And so you knew something about Willow that I didn't. And I, of course, because my memory, like, I'm gonna fucking remember that. We played this game, and your 2 truths and a lie, like the 2 truths were that she was gay and that she was a witch. And I was correct, actually, because I guessed that the other one was the lie.
The other one was that she was super smart and like a world chess player, and she is super smart.
Yeah. But either way, it was funny because I, of course, didn't remember any of that.
Yeah.
So, and of course, even if I did remember it, I wouldn't have known which one was true until
the only
she came
thing
out.
that I know, and like you know this as well, is that Michelle Trachtenberg is coming. I don't really know when, and I know like who she is, but I don't know anything regarding who she is.
The only reason I even know she's on the show was because, unfortunately, her death, like, I know that you couldn't avoid it because her death is like a pop culture thing, and there was a lot of references to her being on Buffy. Yeah. But I don't know who she plays.
Yeah, generally that's the only other thing that I know. And then with Angel, I don't know.
I will say, like, I knew they were gonna have a person of color on the show because the Plex had like a group shot. Well, that's it.
What it was. That was what it was. Okay, so that's honestly, if you want to know, like, how I knew Wesley was going to be on Angel, was the Plex like has the picture, and I saw Wesley in the picture. That's honestly how I
Yeah.
knew.
I think I saw him in the thumbnail or something. I knew he would. I didn't know he was coming before you did, but I knew he was coming when we got closer to it happening, I think.
Well, I didn't know that he was when he was coming. I just like I said, like I saw a
Yeah.
picture of Wesley, and then I was just like, oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But
either way, that puts the that's
yeah, I'm
all the
sorry, Andrew.
information.
I gotta be like, I will try to be as honest as possible. I'm really bad at spoiling myself. I really, really am. And a lot of the times it's not even on purpose. Like it's like
Yeah.
some stupid like, okay, so I knew that Buffy and Willow were going to be roommates in college. And the way that I learned that was that I was on Reddit for Pretty Little Liars about the significance about 314. And then
because of the season.
oh no,
214.
214.
Oh.
About 214, I think it was. And essentially it said that like, oh, like 214 or whatever it was is a popular number even in Buffy because it's Buffy and Willow's dorm room. Like, do you understand? Like that is how abstract
it's hard to avoid them because Buffy is so in the zeitgeist and so included in pop culture. I'm very lucky in that most of my algorithm is very good at not feeding me Buffy stuff somehow.
Yeah,
and if I ever
so fast,
if I ever see it on TikTok, I scroll as fast as I possibly can. And it's funny because even little innocuous things like I love Dimension 20 and Dropout TV, and they do like little shows together, and they do like they were doing a game of like this or that, and the question was like Buffy or Willow, and I immediately was like no, because like what if someone says something, like you just don't know, because the show is so old that of course people are going to say stuff now, you know, like you can't.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Andrew. Don't be mad at me when you listen to this in like 7 seasons.
He does have a question though.
Yeah.
As you approach the season 4 finale, I have one very important question for the both of you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of cheese? Sarah doesn't really like cheese, Andrew.
I don't really like cheese. I mean, like I like mozzarella. That's like the most mild cheese that ever was, right?
Yeah, I do love because it's good with a tomato. So
yeah, I can do a pepper jack as well, like a little spicy number. But yeah, I don't really like cheese, which I've been told by my husband is like probably my biggest red flag.
I would agree with that. I love cheese. Obviously, different occasions call for different types of cheese, but I love Munster cheese. Munster cheese is probably my favorite cheese. Secondarily, I mean, like I love a sharp cheddar moment because cheddar is really like an everything cheese. Like you can use it anywhere, whenever. So yeah, those are my like probably my top 2. But Munster,
I can literally live like probably the rest of my life without having cheese, and I would be very okay.
That's
honestly. I just like I'm not into it. Like I even like I like oftentimes like pick it out of stuff. I just like am not a fan.
Wow.
I know. It's okay. I know. I have faults.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to hear the episode title for the finale?
Yes.
Of Buffy season 4. It is called Restless. I have no idea. Restless. Something with dreaming, something with sleeping.
Yeah, definitely something has to do with sleeping.
Didn't
we have that already?
Restless? See, funny. Oh, what?
Something about dreams.
Oh, well, we had the Hush one where when they slept, they took away their voices.
No, there was something else.
Probably. This one, I feel like this name stands out to me. Like maybe this is a really big episode, but it is a finale, so I guess I shouldn't, whatever.
Okay, so this is the other thing. Like everyone's like the finale is like the greatest finale of all time. It's so good.
Oh, really? Okay.
But like I would have assumed that it was this episode. So I'm like so bamboozled.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But An Angel is season 1, episode 22, also the finale. To Shanshu in LA. And Shanshu it's like capitalized, so I assume it's a location. I have no idea.
It means nothing to me.
Yeah, it means nothing to me. So just an FYI, just to give people the heads up, right? So next week we'll be covering the finale. The week after that, we will do our wrap up for season 4 of Buffy. Then we will take a week off, and then we will come back for season 5. So just to prep everyone in advance, I'm going away. The timing just kind of works out that we'll take, and we usually kind of take a week off between seasons anyway. So that is the plan. I'm really excited to watch the finale because I'm like, this felt so much like a finale that I have no possible idea on what they're going to do. So I'm really excited. Dude, like nothing. I know people didn't like the ending of season 4 and the big bad and all that. I'm still so high on this season.
I am too.
I'm really excited to talk through the wrap up because it's really fun.
Yeah, I think like the whole season's been really fun. So and it kind of like reignited my excitement to cover this show.
Yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed covering it, but I have to be honest, and obviously we'll talk more in depth about this on the season wrap up. I think one of the biggest problems that they have fixed for me personally in watching the show is making me not hate Xander. Like, truly, because I got so drained by his presence in the early seasons because he was so awful. And now that they've really tamed that, I really like, it's not grating to me to be in a scene with Xander. In fact, I'm usually enjoying it because Anya's there too. So, like, it's great. I'm loving Buffy right now. So exciting.
Very exciting. Yeah.
So, okay. Well, and in case people need an update, we do know when the musical episode is. Listen,
I don't.
Fine. Oh, you don't? Okay, great. I know when it is. Sarah doesn't. It's fine. It's going to be a big panel show, everyone. So get ready. I'm not going to say when it is, but get ready when it does happen. But yeah, I think that's everything. So we'll be back next week with season 4, episode 22, the finale of season 4. And until then, everyone, here endeth the lesson.
Just ask. Shit 90 shows taught me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.